Both PAS and Bersatu will be using the PN logo for the Johor polls. However, PAS has insisted that it will not be using its machinery to help Bersatu campaign. Meanwhile, Puad Zarkashi has rejected claims that he had quit UMNO as his son was not selected as a candidate in the polls. This and more on KiniNews. Former UMNO Supreme Council member Puad Zarkashi has rebutted Party Secretary General Asyraf Wajdi Dusuki's claim that he left the party because his son was not chosen as a candidate for the Johor election. Instead, Puad said his resignation was driven by dissatisfaction with the candidate selection process. In a Facebook post, he alleged that the process was influenced by certain parties and tainted by cronyism. He questioned the decision to field former Endau Assembly person Alwiya Talib as BN's candidate, noting that she had served 2 terms under Bersatu before rejoining UMNO less than a month earlier. Puad also asked why younger leaders in the division were overlooked. He further cited the replacement of incumbent Tiram Assembly person Azizul Bachok with 64-year-old Senator Halim Sulaiman, describing it as another example of cronyism. Puad said this was the candidate selection system he had protested, and when his objections were ignored, he decided to leave. He claimed the party had become the exclusive domain of a select few and described his resignation as a political kamikaze intended to send a message to the leadership. Puad also defended recommending his son as a potential candidate, arguing that there was nothing wrong with proposing a capable family member. He questioned why relatives of other party leaders were allowed to contest if such a practice was deemed unacceptable. While we are on the topic of Puad, the police have confirmed that they have launched an investigation against him. This is over his claims of royal interference in party matters, including the upcoming state election. According to Bernama, Johor Police Chief Abdul Rahman Arsad said 153 police reports had been lodged against Puad throughout the country as of 3 p.m. yesterday. He added that police expect the number to continue increasing. The investigation is being conducted under Section 4(1) of the Sedition Act 1948 and Section 505(b) of the Penal Code for allegedly making statements conducing to public mischief. He also advised the public to respect the ongoing investigation process and refrain from making comments or speculation that could cause public alarm. He said firm action would be taken against any individual found to have misused network facilities or application services for purposes that contravene the law. Past President Abdul Hadi Awang has stated that the party's machinery will not be mobilized to help Bersatu campaign in the 16th Johor election. He told reporters today that the two parties will use separate machinery and different campaign strategies. This is despite both of them using the Perikatan Nasional logo for the election on July 11th.
Kempen beza-beza kan tentera pilihan raya untuk
Ya.
Kenapa ya cik buat beza-beza kadang bawah satu logo PN tu?
Ya, kerana dia mendesak nak logo tu juga dan kita tak percaya dia lagi.
Dia orang kata ni strategi politik ya cik. Bersatu dengan PAS ni cerai kemudian mungkin
Kita tetap dengan simbol Bersatu, yang parti Bersatu kita tak tahu strategi. Mungkin dia strategi nak ambil, tapi insyaAllah orang apa kerja untuk kita sepenuhnya.
PAS akan kempen untuk Bersatu sekali ke tak?
Dah.
He reiterated his party's decision to cancel its collaboration with Bersatu. Hadi added that PAS will be contesting 11 seats and has set a target to become the opposition bloc that acts as a check and balance agent for the state government.
From now on, you can also listen to KiniNews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us.
As Johor heads towards its next state election, a key question is whether past election victories still carry the same weight in the current political landscape. Going into the polls, BN and UMNO's narrative is that the coalition is strong because it won a supermajority during the last state election in March 2022. However, an analysis of election data showed that if the Johor state polls had occurred concurrently with the 15th general election in November 2022, the reality would have been much more different. This analysis, based on data from electiondata.my, shows that 25 seats that BN holds are at risk. The findings suggest that BN would have lost its majority, with Pakatan Harapan and Muda securing 30 seats to form the state government, while PN would have won a total of 7 seats. Losses to both Harapan and PN would have left BN with just 19 seats. While past election data cannot predict future results, it offers insight into which constituencies could become battlegrounds. It also raises a broader question about the strategies of all major coalitions. Harapan faces questions over whether growing voter dissatisfaction and the emergence of Bersama could erode its support in mixed and urban seats. At the same time, Perikatan Nasional's internal divisions may limit its ability to capitalize on any shift in sentiment. With campaigning set to begin, the focus will be on whether Johor voters will stick with their previous voting patterns or whether current developments will change their views. To read the full analysis, head to malaysiakini.com. Next, we turn to PN. Remarks by an UMNO leader have raised a key question. Will voters support a coalition that isn't contesting enough seats to secure a majority on its own? The issue arose after Johor UMNO Youth Chief Nur Azlin Ambrose questioned PN's commitment to taking over the Johor government. His criticism centers on PN's decision to contest only 33 of the state's 56 seats. In a statement, Azlin argued that any coalition seeking to form the government must have a realistic path to a majority. He noted that no coalition can expect to win every seat it contests, adding that contesting fewer than 60% of the seats suggests forming the Johor government was never PN's priority. With this, he urged Johor voters not to waste their votes, arguing that PN had already made its intentions clear. Azlin also questioned why PN's component parties announced their candidates separately. He noted that past Bersatu, MIPP and Pejuang held separate announcement events despite agreeing to contest under the PN logo. PN did not field candidates in 23 state seats, including 13 currently held by BN, 9 by Pakatan Harapan, and 1 by Muda. For UMNO, the numbers cast doubt on PN's ambition to form the next Johor government. Whether voters share that view will be decided at the ballot box. Meanwhile, the latest Merdeka Center survey has suggested that Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim remains the country's most favourite political leader. The poll was conducted between March 12th and April 9th, involving 1,209 voters through telephone interviews using stratified random sampling. The survey found Anwar as the most favoured leader with a 52% approval rating. It also found that 42% of Malaysian voters believe the country is moving in the right direction. According to Merdeka Center, that figure is unchanged from surveys conducted in December 2025 and February 2026. Among ethnic groups, 50% of Chinese respondents said the country is moving in the right direction. The figure was 39% among Malays and 33% among Indian respondents. Overall satisfaction with the federal government stood at 50%, with 48% saying they were dissatisfied. The highest satisfaction came from both Muslim and non-Muslim Bumiputra respondents in Sabah and Sarawak at 68%. Chinese respondents followed at 53%, and support among Indian and Malay respondents stood at 46% and 44% respectively. The survey also found strong public support for several institutional reforms. These include limiting the Prime Minister's tenure to 2 terms, separating the roles of Attorney General and Public Prosecutor, and directly electing Kuala Lumpur's mayor. And that is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to KiniTv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm John. Thanks for watching.